Hello everyone, this is Adit back again with another video. So in the previous two videos on React animation series, we have discussed about some of the concepts of the React animation. So in this video, we are going to move forward and we'll try to implement a pen gesture animation using the pen gesture library and we will also use the React native reanimation as well. And we will create something like this. Right now, it's just a small animation which goes back to by using a spring animation. We have already discussed about the spring animation. If you haven't watched that previous video already, then I will put the link in the description below. Please watch that video as well. So this will give you a better understanding how the animations that we are going to use will help you. So let's get started now. And before we start, if you haven't subscribed the channel already, then do consider subscribing the channel. And yeah, so let's get started now. So in the previous video, we have discussed till here how to start the animations and using the shared values and stuff. So in this video, let's get started now. First of all, let's just create. I have already created one animation event directory, and inside that directory, we have this just a hello world and nothing else. So I'm just going to import this animation event over here. So we are just going to discuss about the animation using the events and using the pen gesture. So that's why I named it animation event. You can choose to use some other name as well. So if you just go over here and just want to put it over here so that every time I can just scroll and see. So over here, we have this hello world. So now what we're going to do is like first thing is what we need to do is we need to install this React Native Pan Gesture handler, React Native Gesture handler, sorry, and React Native Reanimated. I think if you have watched my previous videos, then I think you have already installed the React Native Reanimated in this project. And once you do the install the React Native Reanimated, you can just go to the documentation and see because there is additional configuration is required when you use React Native Reanimated, and that you need to put this inside this babel.config. So just make sure of that. So now, once we are here inside the animation event, so we will just create one squad over here, and we will do all the pan gesture events on that squad only. So let's just create first one squad, and we are just going to pass the styles dot is okay. And we're just going to have squad, and let's have a width and height of this square defined over here. Let's have const size, and for now let's just have 100, and we are going to have width is equals to size and height is equals to size as well, and we need to pass a background color. Let's have tomato, that's completely fine for us. And just to make it look a bit better, so we can have border radius of 5, not more than that. So just square over here. So as of now, we are not able to do any animation on this. So to add the animation, what we are going to do is we're going to wrap this view inside the pan gesture handler. So let's just have gesture handler, and we are just going to import the pan gesture handler from gesture handler, I guess. Okay, and we don't need to import this one. So inside the pan gesture handler, we usually the pan gesture handler gives us one property called on gesture event. So inside that, we need to pass one function called that, let's say, and we can have const and gesture event. Use gesture event, I think. Use animated gesture handler. So now, so on gesture event, you get many properties like on start, on end, on active, these kind of thing. But as of now, we are just going to discuss about on start, on active, and on end. So because these three things are the only that we are going to require as of now. if we are going to do some other animation, some then we're going to require more, and there we will discuss about other as well. But as of now, let's just stick with the on start, and let's just have active as well. So, and we are going to have on end. So inside on start, we can have so basically on start. If we just try to log the values. So first of all, we need to just animated view, and we're just going to import the animated from here, because you can't put the direct view React Native view inside the PanGesture, and this won't work, and this will eventually throw an error as well. So that's the reason you need to pass an animated view inside this PanGesture handler. And once you do that, we will have to get like over here, we will have to get the events. So if we just try to console log active event dot translate x. Let's see, hopefully if we are able to get some values, or and if we just try to move it, we are not able to move it, and as well we are not able to uh, do anything, get any values as well. So event, I think we need to do some more stuff to get those values. Okay, so what we can do is like we can have one shared value, and I hope you are aware of the shared value. We have already discussed the shared value in some in previous video. I will put the link in the description below. You can just watch that video as well. So let's just create a shared value, and we are just going to have translate x translate x, and going to have use shared value. When initially it is going to be at 0, right? And we can also have translate y value, but as of now, let's just first of all focus on the translate x, then we will discuss about the translate y as well. So to animate the translate x value, we can do that. What we can do is just have translate x dot value and event dot translate x. And to add the animation to this view, all we need to do is create one another, and use animated style, and we can just have transform, and inside the transform we are going to have translate x and translate x dot value. So as of now, we're just going to have the translate x dot value, and now we are going to pass that same value, uh, same styles that we have created. Styles, just save it. Let's see if we are able to do anything. Yes, we need to refresh it, I think. Refresh. I just reload. Okay, we are not able to get any values. Yes, so now this is working. Actually, I need to decrease the version for Expo, as I'm running on Expo. So that's why I was installed on PanGesture or different version, but Expo requires some other version. So I need to run the installation using the Expo install PanGesture handler, and that made it work. So now you can see, right, we are able to move the this in X direction. So similarly, we can do that in the Y direction as well. So to do that, what we can do is like translate Y dot value and event dot translate Y. So what that will do is like I have already added over here the translate Y, translate the value. So what will this do is like this will help us to move the square anywhere on the screen. So we can move it over here, and but there are some issues as of now that this is not as good as it seems. Like whenever we are moving it, it starts from some other positions and something like that. So what we can do is like we can save our values, like where it is going to start and from where it is going to stop. And to do that, what we can do is we can have this context and start x, or we can have just translate x. I would like to call it translate x context dot y. So this will be the values, and inside it, over here we are just going to store these values inside this context, and this should be a type of I don't know what should be the type of this one. uh, let's have this for now, like I'm just going to put Annie for now, and I will update it later if it's required. And over here we are have to move it on our screen. So now, but we need to use the context over here so that it gets the value from that, like it gets the value that we have saved over here. So let's just have context dot translate at y. Similarly, we are just going to have context translate y. So now, if we just move it, so it is much smoother than before. So wherever we are going to move it, it's going to be there. And similarly, we can add some functions inside the end as well. So if we just want to move this value to some other places, like we have as of now, we are have to move it anywhere on the screen. Suppose you have some on the end, you want to move this square to its initial position from where it started. Like suppose this is the initial position, and you want to move it back to its initial position. So to do that, what we can have is so I just wanted to show you how you can use some other, like use spring or use timing over here. So to implement that, what we can do is we can move translate x dot value is equal to 0, and translate y dot value going to be equal to 0. So if we just move anywhere, but anywhere it will go back to its own original position. But this transition is not that smooth. So to add that, we can have string value 0. And similarly, we can have with spring over here as well. So if we just do this now, so you will have to see like this transition is really smooth. Okay. And yeah, so this is how you can implement the pan gesture and pan gesture in React. So this is what I can think of as of now for this animation. If you have any other suggestion, then you can just put, or any other app where you see these kind of animations that you wanted me to implement, then it would be really good. I will try to implement that as well using the React Native reanimated and PanGesture handler or any other library. Yes, so this is it for this video. If you like the video, consider subscribing, and thank you for watching.